What's up, Libra Collective? Thank you for joining me for your energy reading. If it's your first time joining me, my name is Keita, and if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. I'm going to be doing a tarot reading for you guys, and I was about to say, Libra, what y'all got going on? But I already got the download. Like, I already know. So I'm about to tell you what you got going on. So I've been channeling a song all morning by Sir, and in obedience to the great I am, the name that I have given my intuitive voice, um, I am going to be not only sharing with you that song, but also pulling from 4 different decks. You know, I try to keep it to like 3 at the max, but Spirit said 4. So 4 it is. And I'm going to start with some tarot from the Angel Wisdom Tarot, and then clarify with the Stress Less, Calm Your Mind cards, and then the, well, I don't know in what order I'm going to be clarifying, but to clarify, I got the Stress Less, Calm Your Mind cards, the Enchanted Map Oracle cards, and also the Archetype cards. So we're going to tap in and see what's really going on, dive deep into the message, because the song that I channeled is called when this airplane go by. It's called You Can't Save Me, and it's by our boy Sir, which if you are a friend of the channel, then you are a fan of Sir, and you've definitely heard me refer to his music as channeled messages throughout the twin flame journey. But the song is You Can't Save Me by Sir, and it goes, I know you think you're trying to help, but you can't save me from myself. Ooh, you can't save me from myself. Ooh. I know I sound terrible trying to sing it, but I want to try to like jog your memory if you've heard it before. So it's like, good girl, I knew you were a good girl, the kind I always fall for, the kind I'd lose it all for. See, I was at the wrong place at the wrong time with the right one. I know you think you're trying to help, but you can't save me from myself. So this is either you or somebody trying to help somebody, like well-intentioned, to trying to save somebody, and this is this person, possibly a masculine, saying, I identify like the role that you are trying to play, and that you're trying to help me, you're trying to assist me, you're trying to show up for me and hold space for me in some way. But I am at a point on my journey where I acknowledge some things about myself that need healing, that I need to save myself from, but only I can do that. You can't save me from myself. So like, I can speak for me. I'm definitely the type of person who, it helps me, it's therapy for me to be able to vent when I'm feeling a type of way. You know what I'm saying? For one thing, I'm an Aries, so then there's this hot-headed nature that comes with being an Aries sun sign for some. And then I'm on the Pisces cup with a Venus in Pisces, which means I'm emotional as fuck, sensitive, and also very intuitive. And because of that, it helps me to be able to have safe space in people to express myself. Then not to mention my Scorpio stellium, which means my emotions and my feelings run deep. You know what I'm saying? I be having some deep ass thoughts about shit, and then my emotions Like, I'm the type of person, if I rock with you, you are rocked with. If I love you, you one loved motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I feel away, I really feel away. And as a Scorpio moon, and I have some other Scorpio placements, no matter how hard I try, I can't fully paint that picture of just how much I feel what I feel. But I try. You know what I'm saying? So, that being the case, even I recognize that as much as I love to vent, as much as I understand the importance of asking for help, there are just some things along this journey that another motherfucker can't save me from that which is within me. Nobody can save me from me. You know what I'm saying? I gotta do that work. I gotta do that healing. Now, don't get me wrong, people can be a resource, they can be of support, but at the end of the day, you can't save me from myself. And so that is what this person is feeling. And it's important that we understand that when we're trying to show up for people, or when we're willing to show up for people. And also that if you're that person, like if you haven't come to a point of knowing that you, other people and other things can't save you from yourself, this message serves you. Do notice that it's your responsibility ultimately to heal yourself, because that is the sign of a true healer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got degrees, I got work experience, I got throughout my 40 years of living, all of these things that say, look, I'm capable. You know what I'm saying? I'm smart, I'm eligible, I bring this and that to the table. When it comes to healing, the thing that's the true mark, the proof, the degree, the accolade that says I'm a healer is your capacity to heal yourself, and it's levels to that shit. Cause I know healers that they have healing gifts and they have the capacity to heal, but it's only so far they can take you, and it's only certain things that they can help you with, because they themselves have not transmuted certain energies within themselves. You know what I'm saying? So when you out here working with healers, working with spiritualists, hell, a doctor, a lawyer, whoever that would be of support to you, be mindful of that person's capacity, their experience. Have they done this, the work on themselves? You know what I'm saying? So that's also a message of not rushing into anything, because it takes time to be able to learn, research, and observe those type of things in people. And I am guilty of not vetting people in that way sometimes. So that's something we also want to be mindful of. But I'm going to pull some cards and we're going to expound on this message of you can't save me from myself, because I actually really like where this is going. And y'all being Libras, like, things definitely, there's that emphasis on balance. Y'all are represented by the scale. Shit gotta weigh up, you know what I'm saying, and align. And they gotta be like in truth and harmony. If things are out of balance, then that means that there's a lack of harmony. There's some chaos or some confusion going on in you all's life. I mean, that's for anybody, but especially for y'all as those who have Libra placements. So justice um, is very much important to the Libra collective. And in that way, if you're a healer, you're aligned with a healer. It's important. By healer, I mean people have different capacities to heal. You ain't gotta be necessarily a spiritualist. We all have gifts that we're meant to bring to the collective, but it's gotta be reciprocal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be pouring into a relationship and you trying to save a person, or you're trying to add value to their life, or you're trying to gift them in some way, and they don't recognize the gift in you or themselves. And if they don't recognize the gift in themselves, they definitely don't recognize the gift in you, and therefore they don't bring that to the table. And then that's unfair to you, and that's not justice, because justice is what? Fair. So it's so important that we really hone in on this message of you can't save me from myself. There's so many people I've had to personally distance myself from knowing that I am ready, willing, and able to be of support to them along their journey. And that as one who is a recovering people pleaser, I have to be mindful of pouring too much into people. And it's that message of you can't save people from themselves. If they don't want the help, if they don't value the help, if they don't appreciate the help and like show that appreciation, like, don't waste your resources, don't waste your time, don't waste your energy, especially in terms of aggressively or assertively helping them. Love them from a distance, support them the best you can from a distance. And there's a myriad of things that you can do to do that. So I'm going to be oh that reminds me of something I discovered when I pulled the cards out. So I was intuitively led to pull all of these decks out, right? I pulled out the archetype deck, and there's a card that's misplaced in that deck. The card that this card that does not belong in this deck, but I guess the last reading I used both of these particular decks. But there's a card from the gods, goddesses, and guardians deck that is in this archetype deck that shouldn't be there, but it's all divine because it's all like synchronistic, because the message very much aligns with what we're talking about here. And the card that inadvertently is in that deck, the archetype deck, the wrong deck, is Dryad. Protect your energy. If a motherfucker telling you or showing you, you can't save me from myself, I gotta take this leg of the journey on my own, or this part of it I gotta do on my own, or there's a portion of this weight that I have to carry and be accountable for and I'm responsible for. Back, give them the space. And I'm literally looking at a yellow butterfly, which always reminds me of the blessings of Oshun, the Orisha Oshun, but also the solar plexus. How is this person supposed to build that confidence and that life force energy if you carrying all the weight for them? You know what I'm saying? You can't shine. And then there's a orange one, an orange butterfly. So now we talking sacral and solar plexus being pertinent messages coming forward in this reading, because not only are they needing to cultivate their life force energy, their confidence, but also their emotions, like feeling safe enough to be intimate and share intimate detail and have intimate moments, and also have a healthy sexual and creative energy. You can't do that for somebody else. You can't save them from themselves. When it comes to that, they gotta do their work on their own, and then make themselves available to having you as a resource or support of somehow, but you cannot save them from themselves. So that's a message from Mother Gaia and our insect friends and family, about protecting your energy. Do not allow your resources, your time, your energy, your love, to be wasted by pouring in cups that have holes in them, or trying to take accountability and responsibility, meaning your ability to respond to certain situations, for things that are not yours to be accountable and responsible for. You are accountable and responsible for your energy, nobody else's. So that's something to be mindful of as well with protect your energy. Take that how it resonates. So Spirit, what are we talking about here? Give me some detail for the Libra collective at this time. Oh, had something to flip over. Oh, yes. Ego in reverse. And flipped over in the middle of the deck. This ego card is equivalent to the devil. So where somebody has some toxic attachments, were bound by some things, they are now have gone through or are going through an ego death and becoming more aware of where their ego was sending them out, kept them stuck and stagnant, had them settling for less than they deserved, and had them bound, where the ego was like pouring in a cup with a hole in it. They were investing their time and energy into it, and then it was like they weren't really feeling. It wasn't whatever it was, that behavior, those patterns, those thought forms were not filling their cup. This person wasn't feeling fulfilled because of that, the way that they were showing up in their ego. But this came out in reverse. Now in the upright here, you got this man who has a sword, which represents truth. They now know the truth. They now are aware. They now have clarity. And he is cutting the chains that were on this woman, who she's blindfolded, but the blindfold around her eyes is actually sheer. So this can very much be speaking to a masculine energy who, through this breakthrough mentality, like they've had an epiphany, they've had they've leveled up in terms of their consciousness with that sword energy. It's breaking them free to explore other options, show up in more alignment with their feminine energy, where they were once bound, because to show up in your feminine energy was not manly. It wasn't. It was toxic. It was you were a punk, or you were, you know what I'm saying, just like not taking care of themselves, especially their emotions and their self-care and their bodies and things of that nature. Their spirits is now being freed by way of the epiphany, and this person is freeing themselves, saving themselves from themselves, and not relying on someone else to do it, but taking accountability for their own healing. This is dope. So it says with ego, the illusion of being trapped, accepting responsibility for your situation, and then making choices that support your path to happiness. Addictions or unhealthy habits. Again, there were some addictions and unhealthy habits where this person had to take accountability for their role in the situation, and also their power. How they have the wherewithal to take their power back. And do it as it relates to something that they've been in denial about, with the Two of Swords in the upright. Being able or unwilling to make a decision, following your own heart rather than trying to make others happy, pretending that there is no problem, over analyzing a situation. We've been talking a lot about, how the feminine has had such a dominant, prominent effect on the masculine collective and their healing and their awakening. But this is a masculine being at a point where they realize where their ego was a major driving force in them not making important, beneficial decisions in their life, for the sake of people pleasing, trying to make everybody else happy, and do not like they ain't want to shake the table. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to fuck up what I got going on, so I'm just gonna deny how I feel, or deny what I know, or deny what I see, what's being revealed to me, what's being shown to me. This is somebody who, by way of an ego death, is no longer doing that. You got this woman standing at the shore with her back turned toward the waters, and she's got these two, these look like some machetes, not knives, but they're covering her heart, and she's got a veil over her eyes. But with the devil in reverse, or the ego in reverse, this person is no longer allowing that to be the case. They're no longer settling for the anxiety and the fear and the things that keep them over in their head by over analyzing this situation and picking apart every detail that has paralyzed them. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't making no moves because you're too busy in your head type shit. So this is really a dope message, because even though the feminine has had such a prominent influence, this is saying, hey, I'm at this leg of the journey where I've got to do this part by myself. I've got to have the courage to step up to the plate and save me from me. You know what I'm saying? Now that I know what my shadow is, I've got to face it. I've got to have the courage to face it and no longer be in denial about the version of me that is being called forth from me. So, feminists, if this resonates with you, mind your business. Mind your business and let the masculines do what it is that they need to do in order to step into the position that they need to step into. This is that leg of the journey where you just cannot do it for them. You've done enough. At the top of the deck, you have awakening, that hangman position. So where it's looking like things have come to a standstill and nothing is happening, and it's actually somebody taking the time to see things from a different perspective and going through an awakening, which is the equivalent to the hangman, having an enlightening experience that changes the game. So it says a temporary pause for reflection and insight, an awakening where you see things in a whole new light. Embrace your own uniqueness and charitable actions. It is through that type of energy that a person comes to the conclusion that while I'm grateful to have you in my life and have your influence and have like your teachings and your creative output or your investment in me or whatever the case, now that I'm aware of what needs to be done, I know I got to do this part of it on my own. It's very much in alignment with the lyrics to this song. It says, in another time, in another place, you would be mine. On a brighter day, under a different sky, baby, we'd fly. Good girl, I knew you were a good girl. It's all I ever fall for. The girl I'd lose it all for. Yes, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time with the right one. Now you think you're trying to help, but you can't save me from myself. I keep reminding myself I wasn't here for the view. Just because we seem like we care, did it really mean that we care? I didn't run from the truth. I was just keeping it real, and our conversation was good. Because you're a good girl. I knew you were a good girl. All I ever fall for, the kind I lose it all for. Okay, and then he talks about being at the wrong place at the wrong time with the right one. So this is somebody like acknowledging like the timing seemed off in a situation at first. And the conversation was good, the intimacy. That's why I saw that damn sacral chakra, that orange. Why do I keep hearing a bell? Who has a bell? It sounds like somebody's kid got a bell on their bike or something. But this person is acknowledging where they gave away their power. And they're taking their power back, reclaiming their power and acknowledging where they have to do their own healing. But in order to be present in this situation, because right now they acknowledging where they made excuses. In another time, in another place, you would be mine. If it weren't for the circumstances, if it weren't for this situation, if it weren't for the details that I have allowed to stand between us, on a brighter day under a different sky, baby, we'd fly. All the what ifs that they've dreamed about and the things that they thought about with this connection, acknowledging where they've allowed a limited mindset to stand in the way of it progressing, right? Acknowledging like it wasn't you, it's me. You a good girl. I knew from the beginning you were a good girl. This is somebody who may have made excuses and allowed their ego to be on some, but what if she a liar? Or what if she a cheater? What if you know, like try to paint this picture of you as though you are like the other women that they've experienced or dated in the past. But this is them acknowledging, no, I know you 100. You know what I'm saying? I was in the wrong place at the wrong time with the right one. The pieces of the puzzle just never seemed to fit together for them when they were in their unawakened state and making excuses and in their limited mind state and not enlightened about just how much power they have and just how much all those factors and excuses that they factored in really don't matter. You know what I'm saying? I keep reminding myself I wasn't here for the juice, for the view. Just because we seem like we care, did it really mean that we care? This is somebody that's like, I keep reminding myself that I'm here to live this life. I'm not just here for the view. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to be present and enjoy the time that I have in this 3D reality. Um, so I need to start acting like it. And that part of the journey, I got to do that on my own. You know what I'm saying? So this song very much aligns with the message that is coming forward in the cards. You got awakening at the top of the deck with this person with this temporary pause, and this time of reflection where they're seeing things in a new light and they're enlightened. To at the bottom of the deck, the world, but the world is in reverse. Somebody wants a do-over. The world card typically speaks of starting like a new cycle, but when it's in reverse, that's actually like not wanting to move forward, not wanting to level up, but like wanting to start over. Let's do this shit again because I fucked it up the first time. I had all these excuses and this limited mindset, and I was afraid of what people would say, and I had my finances I felt weren't in the right place, but then I came to realize like you don't give a fuck about shit like that, and neither should I, because that can change. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm not meant to have this certain level of prosperity at this point on the journey alone. Maybe we meant to do this shit together. Like seeing the positive opposed to allowing the negatives to just pile up and build a wall between the connection. You know what I'm saying? So you got the world card in reverse, a brilliant success, a time of joyful accomplishment and spiritual enlightenment, freedom to do whatever you want and be proud of yourself. And in this freedom to do whatever they want, instead of being bound by that ego energy, this person is like, yeah, the thing I want to do is do this over. Let's wipe the slate clean and start over. And this time I want to approach it from a more optimistic, liberated space. I love this for y'all. I hope that this resonates. I am going to clarify this with the archetype cards because I want to know what archetype is this person in this energy embodying. The addict, whose light attribute is it helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. You can't save me from myself. Ooh, it's this, the addictive behavior. I mean, don't get me wrong, they may have had some like drug addictions, alcohol addictions, gambling addictions, sex addictions, codependency, people pleasing, that's an addiction. But it speaks to also that pessimism, and that shit is an addiction too that a lot of people do not talk about. Just being cynical and pessimistic and making excuses for why shit can't go right instead of choosing to be optimistic and counting your blessings and being hopeful and faithful so that you manifest what you desire in the positive, right? In a situation, a positive outcome, but confronting that behavior when you're in your light aspect of the addict. Like I said in the beginning of the reading, I am a recovering people pleaser. I very much look at that shit like when you go to an AA meeting and they say, hey, my name is Keita and I'm a recovering addict, I'm a recovering alcoholic or whatever. Like, you always that, because there's always that chance of you being triggered and reverting back to the toxic behavior or the addiction, right? So you have to name and claim your shit and be aware of it in order to heal it and move forward from it. So this is somebody very much standing in that awareness and confronting their addictive behavior, and not passing the buck and putting the responsibility off on somebody else, like really taking accountability for where they have to confront that addictive behavior themselves. I can't make this shit up. But while we talking about the light aspect of it, let's also tap in with the shadow aspect of it. And when the addict is in their shadow aspect, they're compromising their integrity and honesty. They allow an addictive pattern to have authority over their inner spirit, but not this person. This person that's acknowledging that you can't save them from themselves is actually somebody who is taking their authority and their power back, reclaiming it, no longer passing the buck, or it's a word for that I can't think of, when a person gives away their power. So this is somebody who's feeling very much empowered to do right by themselves, and in their doing right by themselves, it's going to reflect, it's going to manifest as them doing right by somebody else as well. That's dope as fuck. So you got the addict here, and in this picture you got like these winds coming in, but this person is like pushing against it, not letting the everything that is thrown at them or come their way take them over, but understanding that they have the power to block that shit with boundaries and speaking up for themselves. So we talk about the throat chakra being active, and again the sacral chakra and the solar plexus being active, because this person is empowered to defend themselves against and confront their addictive behaviors and the shit that's like the temptation and all the things that are coming toward them to keep them from evolving. At the top of the deck you have the slave, surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust, trusting that God got you, no longer making excuses and living in lack consciousness. You are not a slave to shit. You are free. You are a liberated being. You are a limitless being. So tapping into that energy to confront that addictive behavior, because somebody is, and I just said I heard a bike, like somebody's kid had a bike with fucking bells on it, right? I don't know if y'all can hear that in the video or not, but it seemed like as soon as I acknowledged it and mentioned it, it stops. But at the bottom of the deck you have the child archetype, the magical child. There are different child archetypes in this deck, but the magical archetype in its light aspect is seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, that optimism, being grateful and counting your blessings and seeing the beauty in how shit has unfolded, opposed to like being negative and like, damn, why this happened to me, being in victim mentality. You know what I'm saying? Being able to see the what they say, the silver lining around the cloud, or the light at the end of the tunnel, and being able to transmute pain into purpose and passion. The belief that everything is possible. Again, a limitless being. And in order to be that, you have to tap into your childlike innocence. You have to be able to be in a space where you're not jaded, but able to see where things could really, with some creativity and some faith and some hope and some positive energy poured into it, actually could fulfill your dreams, and you can produce magic. So this is somebody really healing their inner child through the work that's being done in this connection. That is so fucking dope. I slick don't even need to pull from the enchanted map, so I'm gonna close us out with a message from the stressless cards. And before even pulling from these cards, if you're that person who, because you're not seeing any change, you're not seeing any movement, no progress in your 3D reality in this situation, know that apparently there is some monumental change that's taking place. It's just not time for you to see it yet. You know what I'm saying? You may feel it, but it does get a little confusing, stressful, disappointing when you don't see it in your 3D reality. But that means you are mirroring this person, because what is being called for from you is to be optimistic, to have that child magical or archetypal energy, to tap into that slave energy and that addict energy, and not be addicted to seeing results and trusting that the divine is working things out on your behalf, and that you don't have to be the one putting muscle behind this situation or doing anything, because again, it's being reiterated, you've done enough. Just trust that the universe has your back, and that things are going to work out in the favor of everybody that is involved, and that there's actually some huge evolution taking place, like right under your nose. It's not meant to be in your face and for you to see it, the proof of it, at this very moment. So stress less and trust more. Trust the process. So Spirit, what message do you have to close out this message for the Libra collective at this time? Trust that the scales are being balanced, that this situation will be handled in truth and harmony, in a balanced way. All you being called to do is protect your energy and mind your business. So you gotta accept that you will always have things to do, but learn to prioritize the jobs that make a real difference. Stay focused on your priorities. This goes for both people on the spectrum. If you have other priorities to tend to, and this person not showing up for you, and this person is not showing how much they love and appreciate and honor you and hold you in reverence, then they don't need to be a priority. You need to tend to your priorities. Accept that you will always have things to do, but learn to prioritize the jobs that make a real difference. If you're seeing that, or at least on the surface, it appears that what you poured into this situation ain't making no real difference, protect your energy. Step back. Fall back. Mind your business. Prioritize what needs to be what is of utmost importance to you at this time, and produces real results in your 3D reality right now. But for the person who is needing to save themselves, you're needing to prioritize this connection, because you on the other end know the effect that this connection has. Oh, the wind blew some cars over, and we're gonna get into this because there's a message in that. And literally, this little pot that I be burning my incense in, there's a moth on it. Moths speak to mystery, unlike butterflies who are out in the open and colorful and out here like seen, you know what I'm saying? Butterflies, opposed to butterflies shining and beautiful, the moth represents what goes on in the dark, the illumination, what goes on underneath the surface of a situation, the intuitive aspect of the transformation that takes place. So that's very much a sign as well. But the person on the other end of the spectrum, this person who has the responsibility or is taking accountability for saving themselves, they need to prioritize the connection. Because if you know that you value it, it has helped you to get to this point on your journey, then you're needing to reprioritize. Like, take a look at who and what you prioritize, and then put your focus on that which makes a real difference in your life. And if this connection has truly influenced you and made a real difference in your life, then it needs to become more of a priority and not an excuse. Except that you will always have shit to do. You'll always have an excuse that you could try to use to not pour into this situation. But learn to prioritize that which makes a real difference. If this makes a real difference, and you value its energy, its presence in your life, then you definitely don't want to take it for granted, and you want to show that it's a priority to you through some consistent, heartfelt, meaningful action that you take, some gesture that you not only take but like continue to take. Consistency is definitely key in this situation. So you got that at the top of the deck, and then at the bottom you got try keeping a stress diary. Note down the date, time, and place of each situation which causes you stress. This can help you manage your stress and be more aware of situations which cause it. It is time to take inventory of what is draining your energy so that you can begin to separate yourself and detach from those things and better prioritize that which lifts you up, which enlightens you, which brings you joy, which pours into your cup instead of draining you. That is dope as fuck. The cards that fell out, child. Hold on. Well, not fell out, but was blown to the side by the sudden gust of wind that came through here. The Five of Pentacles. And it blew out, but it landed in reverse. Yeah, somebody was feeling like they were left out in the cold. Like in lack consciousness, poverty consciousness, feeling like missing this situation and wanting some assistance or some help in some way. With the Five of Pentacles, you got this angel standing over this poor old lady's head as though to be healing her. And they appear to be outside of a church, and the lights are on in the church. They could always go inside, but you got this angel coming to meet this lady where she is, because she's so downtrodden and in lack consciousness and focused on the negative and what's not going right for her. And she's just, she's feeling down on herself, whether she's literally in lack or just emotionally, mentally, spiritually in a place of lack consciousness. But you got this angel letting it be known, you ain't got to be in nobody's building for God to send you assistance. You know what I'm saying? You are the church, and we will meet you where you are. So I love that for you all. That card being the card that was underneath the World card, and the World card was in reverse. This person wanting to start over, wanting a do-over, was feeling left out. They're feeling like lack. They're feeling a void in some way, and or had been in lack consciousness. But the card that was underneath that is the Queen of Pentacles. A woman of value who knows her worth, who's about her coin. She's about a bag. She knows how to beautify things. She's typically in the tarot the perfect wifey material. It says she's generous, practical, gracious, materialistic, the ability to make anything more beautiful, a love of family and home. It advises you to be practical about how you proceed, a love of art and beauty, a sensible approach. This is the woman, and she has a rabbit at her feet. Rabbits often speak of fertility, spring. They symbolize like new beginnings and something new being birthed, or something being multiplied. So we're very much speaking of like this woman who brings value. She values herself, and she brings value to anything that she is a part of, and someone feeling like disconnected from her in some way, from her love or whatever she brings to the table. And they want to do over with their World card in reverse. So there are, after a period or during a period of rest and rejuvenation, a pause, in a moment of like stillness and solitude on their journey, they're coming to see things from a higher perspective and seeing that, yeah, while they value having this person, that person in all their glory, this Queen of Pentacles, it's so much that she can bring to the table, but she cannot save this person from themselves. That's their work. That's the part that they have to do. There are certain actions that they have to take to move this connection or journey forward and to turn the wheel in this situation. So Libra, I hope this message found you well. If it did not find you well, I hope that it leaves you well. If you would like a personal reading, feel free to email me at turquoisemajesty@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed already. And if you'd like to donate, that information is in the description box below. But until next time, y'all, peace.